Hello everyone, welcome to week 2 of our class. I'm going to apologize as this is a day later than it should have been posted. I've been having some technical issues of my own that God is just testing me on patience and trusting in Him for things to work appropriately. So week 2, we're going to get into the literature and then start developing our initial planning of your project. This is the week to finalize who the groups are and really determine what the topic or focus is going to be and getting into our questions to guide the research and stating your problem. So that in a nutshell is what week 2 is about, but I'm going to try and go through the different pieces for you. So if you look at this, I'm going to scoot down from the learning past that to go to your reading. So in reading, you're being asked to read in Improving Schools Through Action Research, chapters 3 and chapters 4. Chapter 3 is trying to look at how the literature review works to guide the intervention and the designing of the method for the intervention. So if you did the capstone overview reading through the capstone handbook, you saw that it's chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the overall action research. So if you want to think about literature review, that's chapter 2, and that's where we start. Is looking at what literature has to say about your topic and some interventions that other researchers have done as well. So that's where we're going into. Now, if you look at this next component here, the capstone project design to gain IRB approval, if you click on that, it takes you to a web link that sort of gives you the overview. But when looking at your capstone project, the reminder here is you're going to have one intervention expert. And what that means is somebody who's going to do the intervention in their classroom. So only one of the group. So in partner pairs, that'd be one of the two, or in three, one of the three. The other one or two individuals will be the data analysis individuals looking at the data that's being collected from the intervention expert and working from there. I am not going to read all these points on this as I know that you are looking here, but I want to be clear, you need to make sure that we're addressing all of these as you will be filling out the IRB application, which is the Institutional Review Board application to get approval for our projects, which we cannot start till our next course with the approval. So know that it's very big that we get the application completed on time so I can get it submitted. You won't be submitting it, but it will be something that I will be submitting personally. So this just gives you that overview when working your groups. So I know there are a couple of you in just reading over and conversation and email still trying to finalize groupings. Again, groups should be no larger than 3. Partner pairs, I think, work a little bit easier, but again, a triad or 3 individuals can work as well. When looking at topics, be flexible in your topics. Remember, it is going to be one individual doing the intervention, the other individual the data analysis, and you'll both be doing the literature review on it. So maybe if the topic isn't directly something you're interested in, but you find interest into it, the research can help guide you on that. Or in conversing with those that don't have partners yet, trying to find maybe a way to compromise on the topics to see if they can coincide with each other. My reminder to everyone is when looking at the intervention, you're really looking at something that can be completed in 3 weeks. We don't have the full 8 weeks for the intervention component of it. It really is a 3-week intervention. So something to think about. You're going to be looking at stating a problem right now. And that problem can be rather large, and then looking at narrowing it down to see what questions to ask to lead you into an intervention and your literature review. So this was just, again, that capstone project detail to gain IRB approval, which was this right here. If you just clicked on it, it took you to that. Learning modules, which you're very familiar with. Have a great time being reflective on literature review. This, again, developing research interest groups. I need to be clear. I should know hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday at the latest, if who your groups are and communicating with you in the groups. So with that, what's to be expected is you're going to create a document for me that lays out, again, what it is. And this is really assignment number 1. So because this week I still don't have clear which groups are working together, you will all be pretty much submitting the same exact thing in your groups, but knowing it's this component right here that has 3 different points to it for the initial planning. And again, I'm going to take the cursor to here right there to show you. You're going to look at the problem and purpose, stating again, what's that problem that you see that's leading you to want to do research, and having that dialogue and conversation about that. Again, right now, this is just the starting of your chapter 1. You're not completing a full chapter 1 here. This is really overview for me, if I can give you that idea. This is really about 3 pages at the most, but can be used to be inserted into chapters 1, chapters 2, and chapters 3 as you move along. So number 1 was the problem. Number 2 is your research questions, thinking of one solid research question with 2 sub-questions to go a little bit deeper into data as well. You don't want to go much larger than 2 to 3 sub-questions, because really honestly, it's a lot of components, and trying to answer those 3 different questions is enough there. If you add more than that, it can let the research or the intervention get a little too broad that you can't be able to pull it in all together as you go through. And then the third component here is the intervention. What are you thinking the intervention is going to be? Again, you haven't entirely completed your literature review yet, but what do you think the intervention is going to be? Maybe tell me whose classroom it's going to be in, the age group, and going from there. So this is what is expected to be turned in this week. As well as, and I don't want to skim it, I know it'll be brought up again, but the NIH training, which you should have already completed, but if you haven't, something that needs to be done, and I need your certificates, because that will be part of the IRB application. So week 2 discussion is an interesting one. The 2 purposes of it is, one, to give me an overview again of where your topic is finally heading. And then the other one is the option of being able to meet with me. So there will be group progress meetings that are scheduled. There's 3 of them, week 2, week 4, and week 7. We can either schedule a time to meet together collaboratively online, or it can be posted in the discussion board with the interactions back and forth. But this is required interaction. If you are trying to do a group meeting with me, I do need you to email me dates and times that work for you. I'm always going to ask that it be a little bit later in the evening, around 6 p.m., if not later than that, trying to make that connection so I can focus work and family and all of that together. So weeks 2, 4, and 7, and I'm not against the discussion board, but sometimes that interaction as well works. But either way, we must make sure that we've got, if we're going to have that live virtual meeting, that it is done before this coming Sunday. Hopefully not by midnight. I don't know that I want to be that late. And then you'll notice here to just give me the NIH training certificate, and then that initial planning, which I already went over, those 3 sections. Again, what's your problem? What is it? Your questions to the problem that you're going to research, and what the intervention thought is right now. Now, I haven't been mentioning it, but you'll see down here for week 2 is the library research review. So that is scheduled with the library. I know that you've already done an orientation with them back at course number 1, but this is to help support doing the research. This is presented by our librarians, and our scheduled time for our class is on Monday, January the 30th, 7 p.m. to 7:45, and it is a requirement that everybody does attend. If you can't attend, I need that information so I can have you connect with the librarians to schedule a makeup meeting. But I hope that everybody will plan for, again, Monday, January the 30th at 7 p.m. So we're going to put this assignment number 2 sort of on hold, because that meeting is not till week number 4. And the requirements here is a screenshot and some paragraph of reflection for me. We're not going to make that required till the end of week 4, which I believe is February the 5th. So you can submit at that time and it will not be considered late. So that's an overview of the week. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call, email, or text, and I'll try and respond as quickly as possible. Again, I apologize for the delay in getting this video up. I'll keep working on my technology side of it. I hope you have a great week. God bless.